All right. Welcome back to episode 26 of the 20 Pages Book Club. On today's episode, we go through a quick weekend recap, recapping our Christmases since we had a quick break between our last book. Then we will be talking about our next book, The Road by Cormac McCarthy, talking through pages 1 through 38. We give our immediate thoughts on the book thus far. What do we like, what we don't like. And then we go into a meme competition. So looking forward to another great episode. Let's go. All right, welcome back. Episode 26. We're back after about a 3-week break from Christmas. I know it was much needed for all the guys. I don't know what Tyler's doing, but knew it was much needed. So why don't we do a quick weekend recap from our breaks, see how everyone's break was. Kevin, start us off. How was that
Oh shit.
break?
It was good. Went by. Actually felt really long because we had that whole week between Christmas and New Year's off. So spent a lot of time with family, friends. Didn't really do anything crazy for New Year's. Christmas was just back in the St. Charles area. The most exciting thing I probably did was go to the Packers Bears game this past Sunday, which was exciting going there, and then we just got dismantled. Our offense looked horrible. Uh, I just got berated by Packers fans, got belittled. I actually made some cool friends though, but they're both Packers fans. They were trying to get me to go out with them afterwards. And I was a little drunk when we got into the game, and I bet them each like $20 that the Bears would win. And then I thought they'd forget. And then on my way out, they're like, "Yo, here's our Venmos." And I'm like, "Damn." So that was tough, but it was a fun environment.
Packers Packers fans are like decent people. I saw an Eagles game there once, and they were all really nice.
Yeah, they're all really
I'm
cool.
sure it's different as division rivals.
They're just
They're like
people.
they were giving me shit, but then like they'd be like, "I'm just playing, you know that, right?" I'm like,
They have to play. They have to feel bad for you guys. I mean, they're
"Yeah,
like
they
10-0
do."
versus you guys in like the last 10 games.
Funny.
Tyler,
Well,
Tyler was
I'm just simply stating facts.
Tyler
You
was
like
watched
that fact?
after the Bears loss.
I really thought we were gonna win that game. I was so pumped.
It was our Super Bowl and we lost it. It sucks. Everything
So
sucks.
ready.
Everything just sucks. All my teams suck.
You could be a Chargers fan like me, so it could be worse.
Hey, give us Herbert.
Well, we'll take it.
I'm on the campaign for Mike Vrabel now. That's my future.
Jim
No,
Harbaugh.
Jim.
I think he's staying. As much as it pains me to say that.
He's got to run from the NCAA. Anyways, somebody else can go. I'll pass it off to Eagles fan Christian.
Thanks. Let's see. I went back east for Christmas as you. No, I flew there because I had a wedding with Kylie, and then actually drove back with the family. That was fun. It's always worse coming back. Tensions are usually high in the car, but saw my grandparents, aunts and uncles. Saw the whole family, which was good. When I was there, I went to an Eagles game at the Link when they played the Giants 2 weeks ago. They won. And we were listening to like the Eagles radio on the way back, and just as pessimistic as it could be, given that Tyrod Taylor almost beat us, and then ended up beating us this past weekend. So yeah, it was all good. It felt short. I don't agree with Kevin. It felt way too short.
Should Nick Sirianni be fired?
Great question.
No, we need no new OC. Probably a new defensive coordinator.
Is Jalen Hurts the guy?
Jalen Hurts is still the guy.
Is AJ Brown? Do you have to
don't know.
trade him?
See, that's a more interesting question. Devo wide receiver.
It's great. I can't say the word. Interrogation.
We no, we have all the weapons. I think it's the coaching. There's just something there's something not gelling.
Who
with the
blows
team.
coverage first in the playoff game? Darius Slay or Reed Blankenship?
Reed Blankenship 100,000%. He's white.
You had to ask questions.
Yay.
Got to ask questions.
Slay's been injured. He was out last week.
Just got to ask some questions. That's all. That's all.
But yeah, it's not looking. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not real confident. I would say it's worse. I would almost argue it's worse being in my position as a fan than all of you three, because I saw the top, and then I fell.
Your window's closed.
It might be.
You won a Super Bowl like 6 years ago.
But I'm saying their current window.
I know, but he's saying he's got it worse.
At least he's got windows. We're in
No.
solitary confinement with the 4 walls and darkness.
Draft picks.
Right. Great call. Great call. First and 9th pick. Thank you.
It is fun having picks.
Future is bright.
All right. Let's pass it off to Tyler. You go ahead.
All right. I mean, I had a similar Christmas to everyone. It felt.
Right, if I do.
I mean, all right.
It felt fast. I agree with
What
Christian.
can I say?
I got to spend some time with Zeke as my parents went to Florida, so I enjoyed having him over in the city.
See your girlfriend.
That's what I'm about to.
Well, I'm gonna get to her. I got to spend some time with Zeke. Enjoyed having him around.
Zeke first.
Zeke, the city dog, he was well behaved. So I was really surprised. So I was glad to have him over. We went on some nice walks. Went to the lake shore once or twice. So that was nice.
Talking like your dog's a person.
You don't talk like your dog's a person.
We went out for dinner on Friday.
City boys are up.
Zeke took me out to
It's my son.
Pizzeria.
Anyways,
Went to the park.
I didn't do anything special for New Year's as I got sick. Jared came and saw me. I was so run down. I think I may have had COVID. I was just so run down. I started feeling better like a day or two after, but that sucked. But besides that, pretty good break. I mean, had a lot of time off, had a lot of time to take off work. So that is always nice. Ready to start the new year. Ready for the pages this weekend. It's ready to continue on this book club. Jared, how about you?
Yeah, I guess Christmas I was out west in Arizona. First family Christmas in AZ, which is kind of nice. Play golf around Christmas time. Had one of those rare phenomenons where I was actually better playing golf because I hadn't actually played before, so that was nice. Even so had some nice shots that got me back into the golf groove, but then it was kind of like I came back here and it's snowing, so I don't know why I got myself excited.
There has to be a science to that.
It's just that you're not
playing
thinking. You're not expecting to be good, and you're just like not thinking about it probably.
Like that's always.
There's
the
no
case for
swing
me.
thoughts.
Yeah. So, I mean, had some nice shots. So, yeah, excited for springtime. Some golf to get back.
I would say.
For New Year's. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna add on to the golf thing. I think whenever I come back to golf after a long break, my drives are good, and then like my short game is just. I mean, it's always bad, but it's really bad when I first come back. Like I can't do anything. Oh, okay.
Fair statement.
I can't predict which one's going to be good and which one's not going to be good for me. So
Easier to hack at the ball when you haven't played it in a while.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right. Yeah, that's anything else, Jared?
Carry on.
New Year's, we had a school party that me and Christian went to. It's pretty fun, pretty good setup. Like Ty mentioned, I stopped by and then the hospital to see Ty.
Infirmary.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I think I'll echo what you guys said. Nice to get some time off from work, but yeah, back to a new season of the 20 Pages Book Club.
Season
2. So yeah, why don't we just carry right on into that? Like always, we did pages 1 through 138. As you'll notice, reading this book, there is no chapters, so that's how we decided to break it up. So yeah, who's taking it away? Since you guys three all kind of took part.
Unless anyone has anything to say, I'll take it away as we jump into this.
The punctuation and no chapters in this book pissed me off. That's it. Go.
No chapters is tough. It's just it's tough to like find a stopping point whenever you're just trying.
Those readers that like looks forward to like get finishing a chapter, so like, oh, I only got like 10 more pages to go. And like that's how I push myself through a book usually. And it's just like when there's nothing to look forward to, like finishing a chapter, I'm like, well, now what?
I consider the little 3 dot thing he does. I consider that like a chapter, but there's a lot of them, so I don't know.
Well,
But those are my stopping places.
every chapter when there's a conversation that makes you want to blow your brains out, I should just make that a chapter.
I actually enjoy that there's no chapters because sometimes I'll be like laying in bed at night and you'll be like, huh, should I read one more chapter? And you look and it's like 20 pages itself, and you're like, I'll just put that off. And then and all of a sudden, back in the day, you roll around and be Sunday, and you'd be like, didn't ever read that 20-page chapter.
Back in the day.
I've done it many times.
Captain Burnaby's Ride to Kiva.
What
Yeah,
was the moon one?
It was just the dark side of the moon.
The dark
I
2
actually
pages.
didn't read it.
I don't blame you.
Our most ancient companion.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
All right. Anyways, Tyler, you can take it away.
all right. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. No chapters, as we said, but we'll stop on thought breaks. Kevin has provided us nice breaks, so we'll stop.
Oh, yeah.
Third
Tyler,
person.
I was gonna say, can you explain what that is?
The fuck is that?
what is
I
that?
actually know. I know.
Go
Real
ahead,
book
Kevin.
readers know.
Kevin,
Well, I'll let Tyler.
go ahead.
They're-
Come on, English lit. Come on.
No, I actually do know. Third person. So like there's third person, which is just like the author telling it from the third person point of view. Like, but third person omniscient is the author knows everything. Like they know thoughts, feelings, like everything about the characters. Instead of like it, if you're a third person narrator with not non-omniscient, I don't know if that's what you call it. You can like you hear what the people are saying and you like are observing them, but you don't get like the thoughts and like all the details and the feelings of the characters.
That's a pretty
But
good
like they know
explanation.
everything.
That's a pretty good explanation. So, like, if it was just third person, you would just be watching the events as they unfold. So we would never get those inside looks, as we'll see with the wife later
Are
on.
they getting any inside looks besides that wife story?
But that wouldn't happen
The
if it's
man's
just third person.
It's like 5 words.
That was a good explanation, Kevin. They're not appreciating it, but nice job.
I appreciate it. There's also more foreshadowing, I would say. You kind of can take some hints at what the author deems is like inevitable in the book via third person omniscient point of view.
I was gonna say omniscient, so good thing you said omniscient.
I was gonna say omniscient.
I'm just gonna read.
I think it's Amish.
All right. The man awoke in the woods, sleeping next to a child, seemingly under his care. He woke in darkness, which seemed ever present in current times. They needed to move fast, so he awoke the child, who greeted him with a kind "Hi, Papa," on their walk. I knew when I wrote that. I couldn't do it too. I knew it was coming the second I read that.
Papa.
All right.
That's all he says.
On their walk, they encountered a gas station. From there, collecting a quart of motor oil. Moving on, they now moved through the rain. In the distance, the man and the boy could make out the shape, but couldn't see the city. With that, they took to camping in the nearby woods, struggling to gain fire due to the damp conditions. The boy asked the man if they're going to die. He responded, "Sometime, not now." In the morning, we were making fun of this in the meeting beforehand for other readers if you need context. In the morning, they ventured into the city.
You're
What?
sorry, I was gonna say you're making it sound like shit.
Well, we were joking about how sometimes a lot of these lines are repeated like several times throughout the book. But
I agree.
all right, in the morning they ventured into the city. There they encountered a lifeless body, and the man thought back to a simpler time in his childhood. Oh, he wished he could go back. They kept their mission to the south for the next couple of weeks, encountering dark nights and things burned down to the ashes. The nights grew even more cold. If they got wet, it surely meant death. It took the characters 2 days to march across the ashen scabland. Once crossing, the boys noticed that it started to snow. With that, they took shelter, taking the opportunity to fix the shopping cart. In the morning, they encountered 3 hanging bodies. The afternoon was better, finding an old, but edible, ham.
Damn. All right. An installed Kevin break for a question. To be transparent with the readers, I was dealt with the task of focusing on the environment, which I in turn created questions about the environment to ask these fellows, which I'll also provide my own opinion if they don't answer correctly, like Tyler normally does. Uh, my question for this little section was, why does the author repeatedly mention that it is snowing throughout the story? Is it just winter time, or does this have something to do with the post-apocalyptic world they are living in? Why do you think the environment is like this? The author could have chose any setting, any sort of environment, but there's always snow coming down and snow on the ground.
I have a theory for what happened. I think there was some kind of volcanic eruption, some kind of like super volcano that we hear about. Maybe it was Yellowstone. But he talks about
Right.
he
Should we
talks
bring
about
conspiracy theories for this book? I just had that idea.
we we could. I also Tyler says don't spoil the book for yourself, but I shouldn't say this. I don't know exactly what happens, but know I know what type of ending it is, so I think we could create an activity off of it. But anyways,
So you spoiled yourself.
I think I didn't spoil myself. I just I just I just know how it ends, just not what happens, if that makes sense.
No.
Well, I think I try to know. I think I know what he's saying. Like I, I think he knows. Well, okay, I won't say anything either.
I don't wanna say it to you guys. It's not technically a spoiler, but I don't wanna say it just in case
Just,
it is.
just cut it. Yeah.
But anyways, I think it was a volcanic eruption and he mentions snow a lot, he mentions ash a lot, he mentions that it's the environment is bare and a wasteland, and completely scavenged.
I think I
Was that the correct?
what Kevin's saying. I think it's like acid rain like type, like because you when you get like a volcanic eruption, like it's ash everywhere. It's like dirty snow. All the trees are scorched. I think it's some sort of volcanic eruption.
Dirty Snow sounds like a crazy drug.
Yeah. I mean, I think
It'd be a good band name.
we could it'd be fun to theorize, but to a certain extent, I don't think the author actually puts much focus into what the actual event that occurs was, or I don't think it's ever going to be revealed what it was. I think it's purposely broad. Uh, so I don't I don't expect to learn anything outside minor details. I think it just mentions it's snowing and it's cold because that's what has to move the plot along for them to move south.
Trying to make it a gritty
That
environment. That's
Me and
my
Christian just got owned. Instead of
Score
No,
points.
I think Tyler's right. I think Tyler's right. There's like a sense of urgency that's created with the snow.
yeah,
the
and it
freezing.
also
Yeah,
we'll get to it later, but it also creates an interesting the tracking part of it where how people can see like where people are moving and stuff. It creates that as well. Whereas if there were no snow, you wouldn't get that aspect into is there human life around me or not type of deal. But yeah,
Great
Brazeley,
point. You
hop back
sound
in.
like a guy. You sound like a guy who studied the environment
I
of this
studied
book.
a lot of the environment.
you're a geologist of the road.
Climate activists. All right.
Hey, stop. Hey,
Now they set upon
I want to see
again.
what the next question is.
This time he was stuck daydreaming about a woman. She was perfect. He snapped himself out of his thoughts. For now, he had fun with the boy.
Hold up.
what'd you just say?
Which
Brazel, block,
You did that on
block, put it
purpose.
on the block
is
list.
this climate with Epstein's list? Wait, is the man on Epstein's list?
Could be. Conspiracy. Save it. Turning their cart into a bobsled on the rolling hills. After some more walking, they arrived in Rock City. The first find was 2 nice wool blankets. Next, they found some old Coca-Cola. The boy thoroughly enjoyed them. The next day, they encountered the man's childhood home. Despite warnings from the boy, the man pushed on, finally agreeing that the sight was creepy. Kevin has another thought break, so I'll let him hop in it.
Wait, I thought it was interesting that he actually included a brand. I don't know if it was intentional, but usually don't see like authors include brands into these books, like if it's fiction.
True. My question for this part was, why did the author include the fact that it was his childhood home? Is this saying they did not venture far from where they originally lived when the post-apocalyptic event occurred, or did they just happen to be passing through? Because they talk about moving south a lot, right, on the road. So does this mean, and they also talk about going to the forest, then back into the city, and then back to the forest, and then out to like farms. So I'm curious if their pattern is like from the farmland into the city to try to get equipment and food and water, and then back out to the farmland. But it also says they're moving south, so then are they really moving south? So what's the actual point in bringing up the childhood
Yeah.
home?
I guess the question is, how much time was it between when the wife committed to them being on this adventure that we're now reading?
Yeah, let me just delete a further question.
I think
So
What are you
what
right?
was the next question?
It's no longer there.
um, I, they mention his brother, doesn't he? Doesn't the man mention his brother? I think his brother was like the most recent person that they were with before he either left or died or something. I don't know.
I don't
I
know if
did
the
not remember
childhood
that.
home is. I don't know if it's meant as a checkpoint in this sense. I think childhood home is meant to be like a contrast between his son's current predicament. As you'll see in my character summary, he talks a lot about his own childhood experiences in the home,
What
and
environment meets
differs
character.
greatly.
I wonder if
It,
it's McCarthy using it as like a way to use it for like flashbacks or like stories, and like using the childhood home as like
That's a good point.
a way to bring in
I
a
have a quote.
flashback.
I have a quote we'll talk about later.
Okay.
Sorry, Kevin, I didn't mean to derail the setting
Now the characters in the
conversation.
setting overlap eventually, right?
You're right.
I think they're supposed to overlap all the time, but so this next thought break, I'm not stopping yet. Just before I get
No,
into
you are. No, you are.
okay, I'm stopping there. Okay. 3 nights later,
Another question.
they were in the foothills of the eastern mountains. Suddenly, the ground began to shake, and the boy panicked, but it soon passed. An earthquake? From there, they settled in an abandoned home. The man pondered if he could go through with it. Clearly, the boy was the only thing keeping him alive. Kevin, what is your question?
You make my earthquake. Um, the question was this really an earthquake? When I first, I'm not even kidding. When I first read this, I was like, "That's not an earthquake. That's some sort of vehicle going down the road, like a big, like armored tank or something." But then, now after reading a bit more, I don't think so. But
It could be. I mean,
I mean,
they're making,
there's a decent
they're
chance the
making,
characters are crazy, but
could be an explosion. I don't know.
they're making it sound like these were the redcoats, like driving down the roads with in like big tanks and stuff at one point. And then I was like, "Is this just a tank or something?"
The red
It's
coats and
like,
their tanks.
is this like an AT Walker from Star Wars, like the big camel things in the snow, like just going?
redcoats famously
No,
famously control America
their tanks.
with their leopard tanks. All right,
Horses, muskets?
I,
No.
I'll continue on. Eastern Mountains is a interesting point. Makes me think they're in the Appalachian Mountains, but
Just picture them in West Virginia. I don't know why.
yeah,
Maybe it's the people that they interact with. Like,
after I read Eastern Mountains, I kind of have always thought they're in. Uh, they mention a river some later on, I think. So maybe if someone can look that up, I forget what it was.
There are. I forgot. There's only rivers in the Appalachians.
what did you think?
What?
I'm so
No
lost.
mountain.
No.
Okay. They continued to travel, destined to go south and towards the coast. It was tough sledding in the snow. The man stopped frequently, coughing up blood. The journey was miserable. He once again thought of the woman. He had let her die alone. Despite the thoughts he carried on, finally he reached the gap. Despite the glimpse of joy, the sledding continued to be tough. Forcefully, he had to drag the cart through the snow, and the last bites of food continued to be eaten. In addition, their shoes grew more damp, and their feet became even more cold. It took an additional 4 days to get out of the snow. Finally, they heard the sound of falling water. The boy arrived upon the waterfall in awe. Together, they went for a swim. After the swim, they found some morels, which is a mushroom. Together, they collected and enjoyed their taste. Despite a brief protest from the boy, the man urged them away from the waterfall. It was too dangerous as an attraction. From there, they ventured to a bridge, where they slept in an abandoned truck for the night.
So,
You have I don't see anything for the break.
well, there was something there, but I actually thought of a new question while you were reading, though.
Okay.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen Outdoor Boys. No free shout outs, but on YouTube they do. It's this like old guy that does survival stuff. It's pretty cool.
She's TikToks.
Isn't it like rule number one not to swim in like near freezing water, especially if you're already freezing?
Yeah, I didn't quite get that when I was reading it.
I
And
was a little
then
lost on that as well.
that generated another question. Do you think if we this is like kind of it's related to the book, but it's like a theoretical question. If we were to lose all of our technological abilities to mass produce food, would we be able to survive as a human race? Like, how many of us would die off if we didn't have technology to assist in mass producing food?
95% of us,
Healthy.
at least.
The grid would collapse.
What? 95%. I don't agree with that.
Wait, 95% die or live?
Die.
Oh, okay. Okay, I agree. I thought you were saying live.
No.
I'd maybe go like 15%.
That was
Well,
my
how
theory.
many?
And we're back.
To be fair, Tyler, we would be gone too, living in the city.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm making it out of the city.
I'll come pick you up in the Jeep, and we'll hitch a ride west with the gas
Yeah.
can.
I'm telling you, if an apocalypse ever hits us, I just want to die immediately. I do not want to partake in any survival.
All right,
Oh,
wife.
you're just like the wife.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Tyler would lose his glasses and be just lost
Exactly.
out there.
My glasses.
Exactly. I lost my glasses and I would literally collapse as a human being. I can't see 2 feet in front of me.
I need someone.
Walking on the side of a road, like just following along there. There just comes a group of people and they just ransack him.
I need somebody to make an AI generated video of Brazel walking on a road, his glasses falling, him going, "My glasses," and then a red coat and a tank just coming and running him over. Like,
All right. I will carry on with that thought in everyone's mind. In the morning, they continued on, encountering a trailer. In there, the man found tons of dead bodies, stacked upon each other. They quickly left and fell asleep to more thunderstorms in the night. When they awoke, a forest fire had sprawled, so they got up and moved along. At that time, they found tracks in the ash. Clearly, someone was walking. They tracked him down and found his body burned. With that, his mind drifted back to the woman. In his memory, the woman and him were fighting. She had given up, saying that she didn't want to live this way any longer. It was a poor life for the three of them. She wished they had all killed themselves. Soon they would all be captured by others and raped. It was no life for a family. She had regretted ever having a kid. The man begged for her to hold on, but she decided on leaving. In the morning, she had left them. The boy and the man immediately packed and left. The boy asked if she had left. The man confirmed it. From there, the man dreamt of his child's birth. In the morning, they continued on their adventure. However, they were quickly scared by a traveling party. Quickly, they abandoned their cart and ran into the woods. A truck of men came barreling towards them. In the woods, they hid, waiting for the party of men with rifles to pass. However, the truck stalled and the men were forced to stop. One of the party came into the woods, looking to relieve himself. He held the gun to the man, who didn't believe his threat. A shot would send his party chasing. However, after an aggressive maneuver, he shot him dead. Quickly, he gathered the boy and ran. Despite the party getting close, they believed they had evaded them. Returning to their cart, it was now scavenged. As for the man they had killed, he was nothing but bones, eaten away. Leaving the cart, the pair pushed on, settling underneath the bridge for the night. For the night, the man worked to clean the boy from the earlier incident. The next morning, they addressed the issue. The man told the boy that he was sent by God to protect the boy, that he wouldn't let the bad guys touch them. More importantly, they were still the good guys. In the distance, they could see the outlines of a commune. Upon arriving, they found nothing but a ransacked building. The next day, the boy believes he spots another boy. However, the man makes it clear that they only saw the dog, which wouldn't come with them. It passed. All right, Kevin.
I just put a break in here because I didn't want you to get out of breath,
Oh, nice.
and there was a lot that happened in that section.
I agree.
What do you think? What do you think the significance of the boy was? The other boy, not the Papa boy. Alleged boy.
Good question. I
Like
think
a small
that
blip, but there obviously
it's
was some sort of
it,
significance.
it's the second instance of our boy, the main character boy, showing capacity for like charity, in which the dad has no capacity for. The first instance was the guy who was struck by lightning. Second instance, the boy, he wants to help him, and the dad kind of lives through a different world than his dad because he wasn't brought up in the world before. So he wants to help somehow, and the father knows it's not best to go out and try to help. It's best to fend for themselves and try to survive.
Yeah. I mean, the boy is just a metaphor of, he's the light, he's the innocence uh, in this world, while the man has been scarred by his experiences at this point. So it's kind of an interesting thing that's kind of prevalent throughout the entire story. In terms of the
Yeah.
boy itself, I had to reread that like 3 times to figure out I was writing the summary correctly, just to make sure. I mean, it just kind of, the last 2 sentences are basically the author saying the boy was imagining it. Here's what the father saw. So, um, it was interesting the
It
way
could
it
also
was presented.
be it could also be his innocence leaving him in some sense. There was just the incident with the man that
That's true.
the man that the man had to gun down. So maybe it was the boy. Maybe we'll see the other boy back when it happens again.
Yeah, he could be prevalent. Could be losing his innocence as
Too
we go along.
too many unnamed characters.
This is when we're introduced to the cannibalism. I mean, I think this is the first time that they bring that up. It'll come up later, but they return back to that guy's body, and he's immediately already, scraped. He's just bones at that point. So it seems how desperate everyone is.
How many people do you think are alive in this world?
I don't know. There's not enough context. It's like, is this just America? Is this, it's like,
I'm just going on that it's America.
yeah,
That's why I asked the theoretical question last time, because my thought process is there's no technology to make this food or whatever. So then,
They get people have enough food to even like try to take a boat to a different continent if that's even possible.
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. True. I mean, we'll see as the story goes along. I think it's very clear that it's a limited amount of people left. Most people have passed on, given up at this point, or just died in the chaos. Unless,
Waiting for like a secret city like underneath the ground to
yeah,
like emerge.
they just
I
find
feel
a
like there's
secret thing
something
in this next part.
there's something going on because the man talked about how there was like danger ahead. He didn't want to follow them where they were taking that big semi truck. He thought there was movement, like congregation towards one area.
yeah,
Yeah, I wonder if that.
This is like a mixture of like Mad Max versus The Last of Us. Like that's what I'm picturing. Like these like big like trucks coming down the road with like people with like skulls like spikes coming out their necks. Like
just missing the zombies.
yeah,
All right, I'll continue on. The following day, they passed more hanged bodies. Quickly, they heard a group approaching. They were marching down the road. The man and the boy lay quiet as they passed in their masks and red bandanas. Behind them, marching slaves, several pregnant women, and working men. Spoils of victory. The following day, they went about finding the cart. To that, they succeeded. However, the weather was intensifying and the boy was weakening. The boy began questioning the man about death, repeating the same lines. Would you lie to me about death approaching? The man again said no, and they carried on. Once they awoke, the man spotted tire tracks as well as footprints not far from their fire. He warned the boy that they must leave the area. With that, they went off the path. The pair watched the road from a distance. They saw 2 men, but they carried on without seeing them. From there, they found a grand house. Despite the boy being scared, they pushed through the house, looking for anything they could find. Going downstairs, they found living humans, all naked, begging for help. They quickly ran up the stairs. From the window, they could see a group approaching. With that, they ran as far as they could, taking refuge in the leaves. For that night, they camped there, hearing hideous screams come from inside the house. Despite the thought of shooting themselves right there, they camped for the night. The man went about gathering. While the boy slept, he stumbled upon a bar in which he found several apples. Barn, it's supposed to be barn, sorry, in which he found several apples, too many to carry. So he went inside the house to find a basket, additionally finding sweet water underneath a trap door. From there, he returned to the boy with the sweet water and a handful of grapes.
So I started asking my
I don't know why I said
Yeah,
grapes.
that was crazy.
I wrote apples. I don't know why I said grapes.
Christian already peeking. So my approach is
Like this
just like
question.
I just keep thinking of like everything that the author includes is just like it has to be some sort of symbol or metaphor. Because in the grand scheme of things, this is a pretty like simple, simplistic story, but it's pretty popular, so it obviously has to have some sort of like theme and
New
symbols,
mindset in 2024 for Kevin here.
metaphors. Yeah, I'm trying to analyze these things.
Kevin's on
These books, these are mine. What is so? What do you guys think an apple is a symbol of? I did some research.
Good chance it's
don't-
biblical. Good chance it's
No,
biblical.
it doesn't say what's the biblical symbol for it again.
Forbidden fruit.
Yeah,
Forbidden fruit.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah,
The devil tempts them with forbidden fruit.
Yeah, but what's tempting about they need food. They're eating apples.
did they eat too much of the forbidden fruit?
They
I
were
guess that would
starving.
be some sort of trap, I would think.
Yeah, I could be poisoned. We'll see. Maybe down the line. Who knows? I don't know. What is it a
So
symbol for?
after do you want me to give it to you? Or you guys still want to think?
Go
Not
ahead.
necessarily give it
I
to
just
you,
think
just for my
I just
research.
think I think in this world, if you find an abundance of food, the sirens in your head probably have to be going off that someone else is there. I don't think that you would find an unscavenged area without someone else being present.
Yeah, and fresh water. It seems very hard to come
Mhm.
by. Um, from my small research, my small sample size of research, where I looked up on Google what is an apple a symbol of, and looked at the first result. It said an apple is a symbol for a wide variety of things: knowledge, immortality, temptation, and the fall of man in sin.
Wait, the last two named there are definitely just based off the biblical story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So is it what, immortality? Or are they
I-
they're gonna stay alive forever?
He's God.
No.
he did say he's sent by God.
Boys,
There has
boys,
been a weird religious thing kind of going throughout this that is like brought up like very rarely, but he often refers to himself as serving God in some way.
Yeah, going back to the Adam and Eve parallel, I wouldn't if that were the case, wouldn't the boy technically be the one eating the forbidden fruit first? He would be Eve in this scenario. If we were trying to do a one-to-one comparison.
Yeah, I don't know if it's completely based off of that, to be honest. I think that's just where uh your head goes when you hear of an Apple story, you know.
I think of Steve Jobs. Also, when you
Nice.
when you said I think it was Tyler who said that usually that could mean there's like trouble around the corner. Shout out Tyler for choosing a pretty good stopping point. Trouble could be very well right under that door, right around that corner. So, which you'll get to in the rest of your summary. But
I have a comment. Why the heck did they just like camp outside that house for the whole night? Like it was pitch black. They couldn't have ran any further away from the house. Like, did I miss something?
I think they make a point that they're very tired at a lot of points.
Well, bad place to get tired. Inside the the cannibal's house. I don't know.
he's He's like, I walk 100 steps and then sit down to take a breath.
I think they also didn't want to leave tracks too. I think that was part of it. I mean, I'd have to reread it.
And then he leaves his boy subject to the screams coming from the house through the whole night.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop justifying it. All right, final section here for this meeting. The next day, they were greeted by less than great weather. It poured on them all night, and the boy was shivering. Despite the conditions, they survived the night. The following day, the boy questions the man about the people in the basement. He got the man to confirm that they were going to be eaten, and that they were going to meet a similar fate if they didn't leave that place. The boy made the man promise that they weren't going to eat anyone. They were the good guys. Moving on, they found another town. However, like most, it was largely ransacked. The man's mind floated towards the thought of death, what it would mean. He imagined his wife. Everything was better back then. He continued on without the boy. He wanted to check a building within eyesight. There, he found gasoline. Additionally, he believed he found plywood blocking something underneath. The boy was frightened and discouraged the man from leading them down there. What if there were bodies like before? However, they finally decided it was necessary and began to dig. That's where we leave off. Look,
Good stopping point.
great cliffhanger, great stopping point. I have to admit, this one I did sort of read a paragraph or two to get that stopping point. I'm not going to claim total justice on this one, but it was hard without the chapters. So
This guy's unbelievable.
I did kind of read the next paragraph of the next
Yeah,
section.
same. I didn't know if you were reading page 138 or reading up to page 138. And I started reading, that was like, Christian said it was a good stopping point right here, so I probably shouldn't be reading this next part.
I've read it when I originally set out the pages, but I haven't read it since. So
You want me to start right now?
no, I don't. I don't.
What do you think
Live
they're
read.
trying to? What do you think they're trying to find at the coast or south? What do you think their endpoint is?
Warmer weather. I don't know.
I
That's kind of what I figured.
I think I think the man just needs a goal in his mind, and he's just moving them forward to that goal.
I thought
They're
it
gonna
was
get there and probably find nothing.
this was based off Game of Thrones, and up north is the wall, and the
The last
winter's
six
coming.
books have been based off of Game of Thrones, though.
I know.
No, but this one really is.
In
I'm
every
just thinking,
post in every post-apocalyptic book, movie, TV show, there's some like destination that is supposed to be a safe haven that you're supposed to get to. Like what is it in what is the show that we watched recently that Jared already mentioned?
The Last of
Last
Us.
of Us.
Last of Us. There's some sort of destination in that
Yeah.
show as well. I forgot what it is.
It's either like a destination or a group that this guy, like some guy's a part of. Like the man could be a part of some group. He's like trying to like see
Get back with his homies.
get back with his boys, his fraternity brothers. Could you imagine if he's just meeting up with his frat bros down in Florida?
I'm gonna say
That's what I
severely
would
doubt,
say.
but
No, really, Tyler?
maybe not. All right, Christian, I see you have stuff written down for characters. You wanna?
I do. I do. So I kind of like what Kevin did for this meeting a little bit better. So I'll take this meeting to introduce the characters, the long list of characters that we have, and then I'll do what Kevin did in the next meeting. Okay, and we can pause after each and everyone give their thoughts if you have any. So first, the man. Clearly a man skilled for survival in a post-apocalyptic world, with the determination to do so because of one reason: the boy. It is apparent from the beginning of the story that the man suffers from some unknown illness, slogging to the edge of the road with his back to the child where he stood bent with his hands on his knees, coughing. He raised up and stood with weeping eyes. On the gray snow, a fine mist of blood. The purpose of this illness is twofold. First, it demonstrates that the man pushes forward for the sole purpose of the boy. He already lost the bride to suicide and only took a different path because of his son. Second, the illness lays out the inevitable. At some point, the man will be gone, and the boy will have to survive on his own. He watches the boy sleeping. Can you do it when the time comes? Can you? I'd say at this point, the answer is probably no. The man's struggle, therefore, is to maintain the will to survive for the boy, with the hope that once he ceases to exist, the boy will have absorbed this same will. Death is a constant and inevitable pressure which the man refuses to accept, yet he refuses to accept yet because he knows the boy isn't yet ready to handle the world on his own. Man is reflective and philosophical in nature, often calling back to things lost in the destruction of what he once knew. He often connects his past experiences to the present experiences of the boy, hinting at the boy's loss of innocence in the current world. For instance, when the duo went to visit the man's childhood home, this is the quote I was talking about. Uh, in the nights, in their thousands, to dream the dreams of a child's imaginings, worlds rich of fearful, such as might offer themselves, but never the one to be. But in the boy's life, it is the one to be. Any thoughts on the man?
I thought the quote where he watches the boy sleeping, "Can you do it when the time comes?" I thought that was referencing the boy killing himself, honestly. Like, he
It
makes
could
that a
be.
really big point, like,
I think sort of I kind of agree with you that he's referencing that he's gonna have to shoot the boy and then shoot himself.
yeah. Like, eventually
No.
he's like, does the man have the willpower to shoot his own son?
Like one bullet left in the chamber. People forget.
Well,
Well,
in the context that I used it, it means what I meant it to be.
amen. I what Jared just said, how he only has one bullet, I think what he's saying is, like, can you do it when the time comes? Like, can you kill the kid? Because he's like, "I wanna use the last bullet on him so he doesn't have to suffer, and I'll suffer for both." Yeah, so
Also, there were 3 bullets at one time. I don't know if anyone picked up on this, but the wife, when she went to go kill herself, she said, "We should have done this when we had 3 bullets and not 2."
He used one on the other guy too. So
Yeah, 1 left. Okay. Anything else?
trying to do some math right
Yeah,
now.
it's not mapping.
No?
If she said that
There were
they
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
maybe they found the bullet. Maybe
No,
she's during
I'm probably completely wrong.
He took it out of her skull.
they also don't talk about, what they have to go through in terms of relieving themselves in nature based on their diets.
Would you
That
like
has to be
would you like that
no, but
detail or
no, I wouldn't, but just based off my survival mindset, those have to be gnarly. Some of the like, probably honestly aren't even doing it that much 'cause they don't have any food.
I mean, they probably pee because they get enough water. It seems like they're constantly finding streams.
Yeah, they need a life straw.
Wait,
could you
she
imagine how
did
good a
say
sniper would hit in this world?
Where someone's gonna have to find where it says this. When did it say it has one bullet left?
Yeah, I found it. She said, "I should have done it a long time ago when there were 3 bullets in the gun instead of 2. I was stupid." But then she says, okay, I'll just read the whole thing. "I was stupid. We've been all over this. I didn't bring myself to this. I was brought, and now I'm done. I thought about not even telling you. That would probably have been best. You have 2 bullets and then what?"
Maybe she didn't
That
kill
Yeah.
herself with the bullet.
No, I think
She used a bullet or something.
I think she's saying, like, I'm gonna kill myself, and then you're gonna have 2 bullets, and what happens once you use those 2 bullets? Then how are you gonna protect yourself? I'm guessing.
She said I should have done it a long time ago when there were 3 bullets in the gun instead of 2.
Right, that makes
Oh, maybe
he
maybe
wants all three
his
of them to
brother.
leave the earth. No, I think they want all 3 of them as a family. She wants all 3 of them to commit. She says that, but they
Yeah.
only have 2
Yeah.
bullets, so it's not possible.
Oh, so maybe she doesn't use the gun?
I'm thinking she may
Then
have
she
not
says
used the gun.
Uh,
And then they had 2 bullets when they went on their adventure, and they used 1 on the guy, so now there's 1 left.
Oh, yeah. So she did somehow do it without the gun.
She could have hung herself maybe or something.
Felt like I remember something about a bathtub. Maybe I was making that up.
Yeah,
Let the
I don't
deep
know.
dive back into this. I don't know.
We can do some conspiracy theories on how she
Go to the go to the boy, Christian.
Okay, I will. Okay. The boy. McCarthy presents the boy, mostly through the father's eyes and the acts of the boy himself, as a sort of supernatural being in the current state of the world. The goodness he represents is unsullied by their current predicament. The boy sees the world through a different lens than his father. Because he never saw what was before, he is unable to grasp much of what is needed for survival, including fending for oneself. Two instances so far demonstrate the goodness and charity the boy offers that the man must shut down. One is providing aid to the man who was struck by lightning. The other was the little boy who he saw, but which the man refused to acknowledge the existence of, let alone to go back and help.
Hot take.
Less so on the boy there.
Hot take. The boy is too innocent in this book. Kind of makes me mad.
I agree. I hope we get some character development from the boy in the latter half of the book. I hope he kind of steps up a little bit.
It's weird because he's so innocent, but he's only grown up in this world where innocence like shouldn't be a thing. Like if that makes sense. Like it
Yeah.
isn't like that doesn't that seem weird? Like you feel like that only type of innocence would be from a normal world, not so much like a survivalist, a post-apocalyptic world.
Like if this is all he's known, how does
I was doing over there.
me neither? I'm pretending I don't notice him. If if this is like the world you grew up in, yeah, like where does he get? I wonder if his mother maybe like had a lot of the she was more of like the I don't know what the word would be, like innocent person that looked at other people's innocence more instead of being like brute and hardcore like the father. So that's where he gets it from. Because otherwise, it would make no sense as to why he would have this innocence and vulnerability around him. But I'm very curious. I don't know if we're planning on watching the movie or not. But I'd love to see what the actor does with this role.
Yeah. I think we plan to go over the movie in the next meeting, unless you guys have a change of thought.
I'd like to watch the movie.
I do too. I have an update on the man and the woman. Let me read the quote. She was gone.
Wait, what were you trying to type in?
I was saying the boy was a metaphor. I was spelling a metaphor.
Oh, because I
Oh, got
fully
that.
was following that.
No, you're not. No, all right. You're not wrong. That's my opinion. All right. She was gone, and the coldness of it was her final gift. She would do it with the flake of obsidian. So she just like stabbed
Oh,
herself.
Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft obsidian. Yeah, nailed it. So she just
Based
stabbed
on
herself.
Minecraft.
So
For
they're
real,
correct.
Obsidian.
I don't even. Where did you guys get the part that there was one bullet in the chamber? I must have overread that.
I read that there was 2 bullets and then
Okay.
there's one on the man. So
Yes,
there's
correct.
Yeah.
process of elimination. There's one.
Okay, so yes, we got one bullet for 2 people. Not gonna work.
Let's revisit it one more time. 2 minus 1. What does that equal, boys? Metaphor.
Yeah,
All right,
it's on the tip of my tongue.
wrap us off with the bride.
I
All right, the
I
bride.
quickly looking at this, it was the bridge, and I was like, "Who the hell is the bridge?"
A WWE wrestler.
The bride. If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. The opposite of the man. Instead of viewing their plight in the sense that they were survivors, she believed that they were the walking dead in a horror film. She does not deny the inevitable like the man. She embraces it and enacted it. The bride's purpose is to provide a stark contrast to the man's purpose. She had nothing left to grasp onto. They say that women dream of danger to those in their care and men of danger to themselves, but I don't dream at all. That's all I got.
I mean, I don't.
It's questioning my review here.
Well, I mean, the first sentence is borderline.
It says get out the kitchen.
You're implying that she's in the kitchen.
You're actually the one.
No, he's implying that she's in the kitchen.
insinuating that. You're actually the one for
Yeah.
insinuating that.
Yeah, he's implying that she's in the kitchen. I don't think that's right. Anyways,
You are.
no, that get out of the kitchen means she was in the kitchen.
No, that's just like
It's
a saying.
metaphor.
You read
It's a
into it like
metaphor.
that.
Do you not know metaphors?
No.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think there's much
Wait.
that's been given to her.
I have a hot take. The road should be a character.
Anyways, what were you saying, Tyler?
Brilliant.
I'm serious.
I know,
I'm
I agree.
joking
It
on
definitely
that.
is.
I'm
It
kidding.
definitely is. The road is definitely a character. That's why I wanted Kevin to do the environment. I was kind of including the road in that, but
Could have gave me a better description. Not that bright up here.
uh,
Spark Notes didn't have it as a character, so
not a real character. All right. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have a purpose towards the plot necessarily. She kind of has a purpose to giving you more background on what the man is going through, though. Like her character's there to service like the man's mindset, you know?
I think she'll
he's
play
there
a
to service the man. Did you just say?
Is that what you got out of
that's
it?
boy.
That's the snippet I heard.
Okay. All right. Well, it's up to interpretation, I guess. Whatever you took out of
I
that.
feel like I feel like she'll play a part later somehow. Obviously not like physically there, but she'll mentally somehow affect a decision or something. Otherwise, I don't really know. It would only really be a backstory. I feel like it has to. Now that we talked about the boy and how he's has this sense of innocence when the man has 0% sense of innocence,
I
I feel
mean,
like somehow this is gonna play a role.
he's certainly religious in a way, so reconnecting with her in heaven, if he believes he'll get there, is probably going to be a purpose of his character. I mean, I'm the thing. My biggest question mark of the story right now is the religious aspect of it, because I mean, some symbols definitely may be pointing towards religious aspects, and him referring to himself as a servant of God there to protect the boy is definitely an aspect. So I'm curious how that's going to develop throughout the story. Any other
I
initial
want
thoughts on the book?
I want to hear Jared's analysis of the road,
And
characterization of the road.
he uses it as like a transition point throughout the book. Like they'll be in a conversation and they'll be like, and then they got back on the road. Like he uses it like 10 times, and like this road seems to be like the lifeline of anybody that is still living, at least in this region. It seems like in this world, the road is the main focal point. Uh,
Seems like it's the only thing left, like
yeah,
in the whole world, like besides.
the road,
Yeah,
like they use the road for direction and guidance, and I don't know. I don't know if it's obviously it's not a character, but like it plays almost like a character because the way McCarthy uses it.
He talks about a couple times about the world being like devoid of tasks and devoid of responsibilities now. And I almost think like the road serves as just the one goal that they have. Like they're just going to continue on following the road, and that's one of the last things that they can grasp onto.
yeah, it seems like it's their only point of reference, and every time they like when they run into the forest or something, they have like no map and no reference until they like re-find the road. Like it's almost like the only navigational point left in the entire world, or at least in their microcosm of the world.
Yeah. All right. What are you guys most excited for in the second half of the book?
What's the end goal?
Yeah, I have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on in terms of like the plot. What's gonna happen here?
I need some more plot development. Like it's been a little slow at the start.
I feel like we're about to climax right here.
It definitely is nearing the climax, if I had to say so.
I can't wait to get to the
Kind of feel it.
climax.
Yeah, I guess
Not too
I'll say
fast though.
the book in general is like it's pretty fast paced just because of the reading. The text is big, so it flows pretty quickly. But at the same time, it's kind of monotonous. I agree with Christian. Like in the it's like a depressing like read. Like I think like we talked about it like outside of the meeting. Like it's just gray, not much like hope. So it's like I don't know. It's also hard to connect with the characters when they literally only talk like in two words every.
Dialogue is tough.
Yeah,
Oakan, they only
I
speak
saw
two-word sentences.
I saw a review on Goodreads that said the reviewer said that McCarthy has a way with dialogue that it's it's not quite human-like, but the way he does it is beautiful in the way that it is more human than human-like. And I was very lost at what the guy was trying to say.
This is like when you go to an art museum and it's like modern art where it's just a white canvas. What does this really mean?
Is it too above our reading level? So is that maybe
His
that's it.
dialogue is hard to follow sometimes too, because he doesn't always explicitly said like X said Y. It's just a lot of times
It's
this
back and forth.
response, this response, this response.
And sometimes it's like mixed into a paragraph and there's no like it doesn't go to a new paragraph and it'll just read and there's no quotes, so it just reads and then I'll be like, wait, made no sense. And I realize like it's the father talking to himself.
Yeah.
All right.
I've one additional thought. I've mentioned this in the group chat before. I kind of like the no chapters. I mentioned how I'm constantly on edge when reading this book, and I think the way the omission of chapters kind of adds to that. And also there's no there's some long-term foreshadowing in this book, but there's no short-term foreshadowing. So it leaves you unsure of what you're going to stumble upon next, like what you're going to read next. And a lot of times he'll put like almost dummy things in there. Like one of the houses there, it was empty of people. Next house they get to, there's naked bodies chained up in the basement. I think the book has been fairly unpredictable so far, which I enjoy.
Yeah, I think that third person omniscient or whatever it's called. Yeah, third person omniscient kind of allows for us not to know what's going on just because we're not really in their head because there's just no thoughts almost. Like the man is pretty much the main character, I would say, at least in terms of like controlling the story thus far. And we don't really get insight too much into his brain besides what happened with the bride. So it's hard to, like you said, figure out what's going to happen or give a guess on what's going to happen just because like we have no idea. Besides the fact that they want to go south, what's their plan is.
The dialogue's kind of a smoke screen. Because every time the boy's like, Papa, don't go in there. And he's like, we have to. And then they go in and then sometimes there's nothing.
I'm scared.
Sometimes there's naked bodies. And then he goes, run. So
Rawr.
But only 100 feet in the backyard, not any further, because you get too tired.
God forbid. All right.
hey, never been in his shoes before, so
Walk a mile in his shoes. All right.
For the next meeting, we're going to be finishing the book since it is quite a short read. So just keep that in mind if you are reading with us on our schedule. But yeah, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back for meme competition.
welcome back to the competition portion of today's episode where we'll be doing the meme competition. So if you're listening to the podcast right now, I highly recommend tuning into the YouTube so you can actually see these memes. But hopefully we can pick it up a little from some of our past performances recently. I can't even remember a really good meme that's happened recently.
The last one was good.
Besides,
It wasn't our best, though. I think we were just saying it because we literally have been so bad that it was just marginally better. And
yeah, so hopefully today we can step it up a little. I don't know if I brought the goodies today, but hopefully someone did. We'll go in the order of Tyler, Jared, me, then Christian will wrap us up. So Tyler, if you're ready to kick it off,
All right.
see what videos you have in store.
Tyler win
No
the meme
videos.
competition 2024. That's the real question.
Tyler made his memes in 5 seconds today at lunch.
AI generated.
AI generated. All right.
What?
What?
The viewers at home.
We might have an early contender for the.
No. This is the guy that jumped at the judge.
Yeah, but how does that relate to what they saw in the base?
I think it's funny. The mispunctuation of the pair and then just some random ass guy.
So- All right, let's go.
All right, Jared.
Nice. Well, sometimes you have to go back to go forward.
Baby skeleton.
I was thinking about using something similar, but
Baby.
I did not. I honestly don't have these labels, so I'm just gonna drop one and send it.
I don't know what's going on here.
Uh,
All right.
All right, back up to the top.
All right. Slow. Slow start.
That
So
first round.
fast. Heavy hitters coming out left. Oh my god.
okay.
I like that. That's a good meme.
You always start off with your worst meme and then you get better. That's the whole point.
This might be a pretty bad meme for me too. Honestly, I don't know if it's good.
He's got a violence warning strike
like
against our channel.
Yeah.
It's on Family Guy.
This might be an early candidate for 2024 worst meme of the year. I forgot I made this.
I'll one up you guys with a bad meme. I actually hate myself for making this.
Oh my god.
I
I
hate
didn't see it
myself
was a
for that.
GIF.
I couldn't take myself seriously writing that out.
All right, all right. Final round. Great start to 2024.
That's a good one, Ty.
Yes, I like that.
Is Tyler back?
He might be. This year.
2024 is the year of
He's getting edgy again. I love deep fried memes. Like, what is that?
It's the Avatar meme. It's been going around on Twitter, and I was like,
Oh.
Hey.
good morning.
All right. I thought she used the gun. Turns out she didn't use the gun.
No longer makes sense, but in spirit. Should have just put a
Alright, last
Minecraft
one.
block over it. Last meme of the day.
All right.
Oh, this is gonna be tough.
Actually,
we have like a lot of average memes.
Yeah.
that was not bad. That was an improvement.
Let me go through the list for everyone at home. What the pair saw when they
We might actually win this.
Papa with the skeleton, the dog, with Nam going back in the background, Christian with the kid that slightly something's off, Peter Griffin, skin color, and then another Family Guy back to back with the brains blown out, Cocaine Elmo, the gif of Vince McMahon, rizzing up Baby Gronk, the Rizzler Phantom Packs, when your dinner choice is between 8-year-old beans, 8-year-old child, and then the Avatar meme, and then the mom shooting herself that didn't actually shoot herself, and then Christian with the filled in. What is that called when you fill in stuff? There's a game. You guys remember that? All right, let me type in my actual votes. Just stuff.
If any of the viewers at home thought of any memes during this competition, go ahead and toss them in the Discord chat.
Yes, the Discord chat labeled community memes. That's what. This is pretty balanced. It might not have been our best with some heavy hitters, but
Yeah, I feel like the scoring is going to be interesting.
yeah, we need to come up
Potential,
with a better way to track the scoring.
yeah, potential for a tie here.
Need to just create an Excel sheet that has like once you type in a name, it gives the points or something. I don't know. All right,
I'm ready.
I am ready.
Also,
Christian, are you good?
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Wow, Tyler with the unanimous win.
yeah,
I'm so proud of myself. It's got to be the first meme I've ever won. It's got to be the first one. Wow, it's got to be the first one.
It's your first one. Starting off the new year right.
New year, new me. New year,
Three-way tie for second.
new we.
Yeah,
What?
second was close between
Kevin's dogs got some votes. 3.
Avatar. It's close, maybe.
Wow, I'm so glad I got a unanimous win. That's proud. Proud.
Tyler,
Maybe I'll come close in the competitions this year. Maybe not. Probably not. But it's all right. I'll take my victories when I can get them. All right.
you doing Scribblio for this book or no?
No, I don't think so.
It a nerf you.
All right. So that was episode 26. For next episode, we're going to be finishing The Road. So only a 2 meeting book. And make sure to watch the movie, The Road. I think it was released in 2007. So go ahead and watch the movie before you watch next episode, because we will be discussing our thoughts on the movie and comparing it with the book. We will also be giving our scores for next week. And Kevin will be getting to pick our next book. It's all in his hands.
Well, it's all the wheel's hands.
The wheel's hands, but it's only Kevin's books on the wheel. So we'll know what book we're reading next.
We need 5.
Ready.
We need 5 books on that wheel.
Boys, you better be.
Only one repeat on there. So
There'll be 0 repeats, but you better be ready to strap in to venture to a new genre. Starts with an R, and it's not realistic fiction.
romance.
We're reading Icebreaker, boys.
All right.
Being for real.
I think I'm gonna put one romance book on the wheel because there's no chance that there's 5 books on there. I mean,
We
Right.
Wheel's just.
The wheel's just. The wheel is 100% just. So I trust whatever the wheel says.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week.
peace.
Bye.
Peace.